Welcome back, Algebra 2 students. We are still in chapter 4.3. This will be our last learning target for 4.3. Today's learning target is, I can divide rational expressions. So far in this section, we have talked about finding an equivalent expression. That was our first lesson. And then last lesson, we talked about how to multiply these rational expressions. So today we're going to divide. So we're keep building on what we have learned. And today we are dividing. All right, let's look at this first example. I have two rational expressions there, and we are dividing them. Now, think back to when you learned how to divide fractions. You might have learned the expression keep, change, flip. So that's our first step, and I'll show you what that means if you're not familiar with it. Keep, change, flip. So when you're dividing fractions or when you're dividing rational expressions, we are going to use this little trick, keep, change, flip. So we're going to keep the first expression, the first fraction, exactly the way it is. Nothing happens to it. We just bring it down. Okay. Now we're going to change our division to multiplication. So keep the first, change division to multiplication, and then flip the last fraction. So the top becomes the bottom and the bottom becomes the top. Switch that numerator and denominator. So keep the first fraction, change division to multiplication, and flip the last fraction. Now the problem becomes just like the multiplication problems we were doing in the last lesson. So you can go back really to that last success criteria, and then you would know how to finish this problem. The only difference is the keep, change, flip right off the bat in the beginning. So now that we have this multiplication problem, I know that I'm going to have to factor it completely. Okay, so go ahead, pause the video, do that on your own. Factor completely. All right, I'm gonna look at each piece. I'm gonna start here with a 2x squared minus 12x. I can factor out a 2x there. And then I'm left with x minus 6. Bring down that x plus 5. Those all just can bring down. They're good to go. Factoring is done. Now I'm going to do domain. So I'm going to look down at the bottom. X cannot be negative 5 or positive 6. And this is different. You also have to check this one as well, because this used to be the denominator. So x can also not be negative 5, but we already have that, so we're good. All right, we did the domain. Now we're ready to simplify. Remember, you can do it diagonally or up and down. Answer, 2x for all x not equal to negative 5 or 6. And then our last step, I forgot to write it down. How did we get the answer? We multiplied straight across there. All right, let's try another one. Okay, try this one on your own. Pause the video. All right, so this one's a little bit different because you can't really factor anything in the traditional sense like how we've been doing before. So we're going to look at, again, following that success criteria, don't forget your keep, change, flip. So that has to be your first step before you start factoring or canceling anything out. So remember, keep, change, flip. Keep the first one. Change division to multiplication. Flip the second one there. So bottom becomes the top, top becomes the bottom. All right, keep, change, flip. Now, as far as factoring goes, we can just go straight to canceling here. So I remember we're looking diagonally and we're looking up and down. So diagonally, I see here x to the fourth and x for 1 here. That x would go away, and we took 1 x out of there, so that's left with x to the third. And then I have this 7 and 21 across that also can cancel. So what can divide into both 7 and 21? Well, that number is 7. So if you divide 7 by 7, you get 1. 21 by 7, you get 3. All right, what else? Let's try going this way here, diagonally. So let's look at the numbers, 12 and 24. Both can be divided by 12. 12 divided by 12 is 1. 24 divided by 12 is 2. And then let's take a look at these y's. That goes away. I took 4 away, so I have 1 left. And let me just do a quick check. It looks good. Now we are ready to multiply. So we're multiplying straight across here. So I have x to the third left over here. Yep, that's all that's left there. Okay, now I have 2 times y times 3. Gives me 6y. All right, let's go back and check the domain here. So we're looking at, before we start crossing things out, so this would be y cannot be 0. And x cannot be 0 as well. Remember, you got to check this one, and that would be y0 again. So that would be your answer there. That one was a little bit different. Let's try another one that looks more like what we've been practicing. Go ahead and try this one. All right, don't forget, keep, change, flip. So keep the first one. Change division to multiplication. Flip the second one there. All right, keep, change, flip, check. That is done. Now we're going to factor. That's a difference of squares. Square root of 49 is 7. All right, this little guy right here, this little exponent of 2 means I have 2 of these. All right, and then I can take out a y here. Take out a 5 here. And it is factored. Now I'm going to stop and find the domain. So x cannot be 7. 7 again. Negative 7. Check this guy. Positive 7 or 0 from this y right there. All right, now I can cancel. I can go diagonally, up and down. Okay, now I'm gonna multiply. Nothing left here, so it's like a 1. So 1 times y is y. And then just the 5 on the bottom there. And then, of course, your domain for all x not equal to 7, -7 or 0. All right, try another one. Last one. Try that one. All right, what do we do first? Keep, change, flip. Keep the first fraction. Change division to multiplication. Flip the second fraction. All right, keep, change, flip is done. Now we are going to factor completely. Take out a 5 here. Take out a 3 down here. Take out a 10 here. Take out a 7 here. All right, factored. Now, let's see. What can cancel out here? Well, I don't see anything that can cancel out. Interesting. All right, so let's find the domain. Y cannot be -5 or -4 here. And now, since nothing can cancel, I guess we're just gonna have to multiply straight across. So that's 50. 5 times 10 is 50. And then 3 times 7 is 21. Then I have 2 of these y plus 5s. So I'll just do a squared there. Stick on the domain to the end, and there is your answer.